Hello students, welcome to class. I'm just struggling here to get my glove back on. So it's almost midnight and I'm here gonna talk to you a little bit. I just needed a little bit of fresh air and some exercise. I just walked with Bella and brought her in the house and decided to come back out. Because when I walk with her it's a bit hard because I have to stop every 2 seconds because she wants to smell everything. But I just wanted to quickly talk to you a little bit about something that when I was vegetarian, we used to call meat by mistake. Now the reason I want to talk to you about this is because I want to show you that the journey to become vegan really does take 100 clicks. It has to get, the message has to get into your head, it has to get into your heart. And I was vegetarian for many years and thinking I was doing good, thinking that, okay, this is great, I'm not eating any animals, I'm helping so much, but not really cluing in as to how much harm I was doing by continuing to consume eggs and dairy. And luckily I snapped out of that and I became vegan in June 27th, 2016. So, but I want to talk to you about something that we used to do, which is called meat by mistake. So this is even when I was a mom and our kids were vegetarian. We had a vegetarian house at some point when it was actually my daughter who had the idea for us to become vegetarian when she was 14 and she came back from a camp where there were some vegan and vegetarian kids, and she said, "Mom, I don't want to eat meat anymore." And I said, "Oh, that's great." But anyway, we stopped as a family eating meat then. But then, let's say you're out somewhere and you order a meal at a restaurant and you say, "I would like to have this meal vegan or vegetarian or whatever stage you're at," and then by accident there is meat in it. Now this is what I remember. We went to a restaurant and we asked for vegan pasta and they had put some meat in it. So they serve it to us. So we're the kind of people who don't like to waste food. Like if a waiter used to bring me the wrong food, I'd be like, "Oh, whatever, I'll eat that. It's fine. It's not their fault. Why would I bring it back to the kitchen, have it be thrown out or whatever?" So if we got something and it had some meat in it, we would say, oh well, meat by mistake. Let's eat it anyway. After all, the animal died and it's no point now in letting it go to waste. Now, this is not the same thing as you going to a store and buying an animal that's dead on purpose, because then you are increasing the supply and the demand that happens in business. Not the same. But anyway, when I started listening to the work of Gary L. Francione and started thinking about animals as truly being the sentient beings that they are, and it really got it, that they're not food, that's when I changed. And I stopped at some point thinking, oh, meat by mistake, I'm going to eat this animal anyway, to completely not at all consuming any animals if they show up. And that's just a whole change of mindset. It's like really realizing, okay, if let's say you got meat by mistake and it was at a restaurant, you ordered something, let's say spaghetti, and it had meat sauce in it, and you found out that the meat sauce was actually like there was dog meat in there, would you eat that? Would you think, oh well, the dog died anyway, might as well eat the dog? Or if like, which would never happen in real life, that let's say it was a body part in there of a human, like, oh, we accidentally put the chef's thumb in the food because it fell off anyway when he was trying to slice something, cut his own finger off, so we just put it in the sauce, so no big deal, it's meat, so just go ahead and eat it. Like, you wouldn't eat it, right? So at some point we started to think, okay, we really need to be vegan, and there's none of this meat by mistake stuff, or dairy by mistake, or eggs by mistake. So if you have, let's say, there's a party and there's cookies or something and you're hoping so much that they're going to be vegan, and then the host says, yeah, they're vegan, there's no egg in there, there's no milk in there, so you're like, okay, I'm going to eat that. And then they say afterwards, well, actually, whoops, I realize that there is actually egg and there's actually milk in there, sorry, then you're gonna be like, oh well, it's no big deal, right? But are you going to go and have a second one and think, well, I already ate one, what's the difference? It tastes so good. Or let's say it's donuts or whatever it is, cake. So when you get at all of your clicks and you truly are vegan, this is when you start to really look at animals as not being food at all. And it's not even that you want to eat those products anymore. You see cookies on the table and you know that maybe your first reaction, because for so many years you'd walk, like I think about me in the staff room as a teacher when I would walk in there and let's say some family member donated some cupcakes or something. It's totally normal that you would start to salivate and be like, oh, I really want to have one of those cupcakes right now. And then you start to realize after a while, wait, actually I don't, because you have images of the animals who suffered, the poor little baby cows who had to die in the cycle of violence that is the dairy industry. You start to really get the flashbacks of what you know because you were brave enough to watch those videos. And you know that the little baby cows had to be taken away from their mothers. They had their throats slit. The mothers were raped. The cycle continued. The baby's boys were murdered because they will never be able to give milk, and the girls are put back into this cycle of slavery. And anyway, the point is that you don't have anything else by mistake, no products, and you don't just take them because they're there anyway. It's really a moral stance. Now, I want to briefly touch on something else, which is there are some of you out there who say the craziest things like, don't drink water because it belongs to the fish. Now, I know that these are probably 10-year-olds who say that, and most adults know how ridiculous that is, but sometimes even adults are that ridiculous. So let's be clear. Being vegan is about doing the best you can at all times, with the decisions that you make every day, with what you buy and what you consume, put on your plate, in your mouth, in your fridge, all of it. Just doing your best. So if there are medications that you have to take because you are ill, then you have a right to take those medications. You did not purposely want to hurt the animals, and you are just trying to survive. Now that's different than taking something like hormones because you want to make yourself feel a little bit better for whatever reason that you might take some hormones. It's not a matter of life and death. So you should seriously think about whether you're going to be consuming those because you don't need it, right? It's a luxury item. Now, if you're talking about something like you have a severe headache and you're going to take Tylenol, a medication that's been around for so long, but at some point it was tested on animals, it's okay to take the Tylenol. It's okay to take your diabetic medication because you're trying to survive. But diabetes, again, is a whole other thing because diabetes type 2 can be reversed by eating a plant-based diet. And you can go and watch What the Health to learn a bit about that. Which I admit that I think that they're exaggerating a little bit in that documentary, but I think that overall the meaning is strong, that we don't need to consume a lot of the medications that we do, and we do not need to eat meat on a daily basis, or dairy, or eggs. And if they are presented to us by mistake, I'd like you to seriously think about whether you're going to consume them or not, or think of them as a dog or a cat on your table, and whether you would eat those if they died by mistake and ended up there. So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. I know my rambling was kind of a little bit all over the place, but it's cold and it's a little bit hard to hold this selfie stick here and talk at the same time and try to not edit this video. But I really appreciate all of you who are thinking about these things, and I invite you to skip the eating things by mistake or consuming them because you just want something different idea, and I'd like you to seriously consider becoming vegan straight away and joining me here on this channel. Help me to create a vegan world. Subscribe, press the like button if you think this channel has any kind of value, and press the notification bell. Help me get the animals out of hell. Thank you so much. And coming up on screen are actually going to be a bunch of other videos. And while you look at those videos on screen, in the background, I'm gonna take you right across the street here, which is a lake right near where I live. And you can look at the lake in the pitch darkness and enjoy the midnight sky here of the island of Montreal. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And I'll see you all soon in the next video. Bye for now.